The second last episode of Avataro Sentai Don Brothers. It's crazy to think that this show is ending last week because I've been watching and reviewing this Sentai week to week, which is crazy to think about that I've been keeping up with this series, and I've been loving it every step of the way, and I'm much appreciative of all you guys who stuck around for all my reviews. I know it didn't do gangbusters here and there, only a couple of episodes did, but I'm glad people tuned in and was interacting in the comment section with what they thought of the episode and how they enjoyed it, and that's much appreciated. But when Don Brothers comes to a close next week, I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna tear up, I'm probably gonna get emotional. I've loved these characters and the journey they've gone on as I've gotten to know them over the past year, but we can do that next week and cry over the Don Brothers finale. For now, let's talk about episode 49. So, episode 49 isn't a crazy episode of Don Brothers, but it's crazy in the formula that Don Brothers is, with how wacky and crazy things can get within a Don Brothers episode. So, if you're expecting balls to the wall action finale with crazy shit going down, then this ain't it, Chief. You don't get that in this episode. You just get your usual Don Brothers episode with Don Brothers hijinks, and I gotta say, I enjoyed it because this character shows that the characters we've been following for over a year have kind of met their resolution with most of their goals met here and there. I mean, you've got Haruka about to get a manga published and she's got Sonosa being her editor-in-chief and supporting her all the way. You've got Jiro who's sort of come to terms and he's sort of brought back to reality and he has a nice little moment in this episode. You've got Kijino, who's going to quit his job and sort of reevaluate his life, and then you've got Inuzuka, who has Kijino meeting Natsumi because she looks like Miho, and I didn't bring it up in my last review, but Natsumi remembered everything that Miho went through when she was dreaming in that forest, so it's kind of hinted at and implied that she might have feelings for Kijino, but it's not hard hinted at. It might be, but they don't outright say it. They kind of show it physically by hugging, but no words were said. But you can probably tell that if Inuzuka doesn't have Natsumi at the end of the episode, his whole driving force throughout the show, and he ends up getting with Tsunade, then that'd be an interesting twist where he winds up with her. And then you have freaking Kijino ending up with Natsumi because that's the person that looked like his wife, or was his wife, but has their memories. So that'd be an interesting twist to see. But I do like how this episode started, like you have all the characters sort of rushing off to do their own thing, and then you have Jiro, Sonoe, and Taro fighting the frickin' Noto inspectors, and they kind of tease what happened last week where they fight blindfolded and they mollywop them, and you have some fun character interactions after that, like you have Jiro and Taro talking on the bench, and Taro's noticed how Jiro's changed. And Taro brings up by saying, hey, that cooking you gave me a couple of episodes ago, that wasn't Rumi's cooking, that was probably your cooking, but you cooked it, like, subconsciously with what your, like, foster father taught you. So that was a really nice moment as well. But this episode also had Taro in the slumps as he seemed down in the dirt, and you don't really kind of know why. He's just kind of slouching about, I guess, because everything's coming to a close. Things aren't going to be exciting for him anymore. But he is even bored or not interested in finishing the duel between Jiro or Sonoe, which is an interesting note as well. Now, even though I kind of saw images of the next episode preview floating around online, it was crazy to see that the monster of the week was a King Oja monster, because it's sort of hyping up the next Super Sentai, and they kind of do that in this episode when the monster of the week fights all the Don Brothers, all 9 Don Brothers, and he transforms into like 5 different clones, and all of them are sort of having the cape colors of that upcoming Super Sentai, and I was like, oh, that's a cool little nod thing. And the King Oja monster, I really enjoyed, like, it had the dude's face imprinted on his chest, and he had a big crown on, and then he had a wacky scene where he went to the Odin shop and he asked for fish, and his mouth goes weirdly frickin' CGI, like they frickin' pulled on it, and he just eats all the fish. That was really crazy, but once again, Minaru, I believe his name is, gets turned into like a monster of the week again. It's always silly and wacky to see this guy turn into the monster of the week. But also in this episode, we see our characters throw a surprise party for Taro, because Kaito's like, hey, I've got something planned. And what it ends up being is a surprise party for Taro, but Kaito gets the date wrong, and Taro's birthday isn't even happening yet. I believe he says it's a couple of months away. And Kaito just casually goes, oh, I wonder how I missed that date, and let it slip, and just walks off. I swear, if we don't find out what the hell is up with freaking Kaito, or Kaito Black saying Kaiser Black, I don't know, I feel like I'm going to scream, but I feel like this character has been like a big cock tease throughout the show's run, and I feel like the whole idea of that character was us to sort of cling on to him and find out what the hell might be happening with this character moving forward. I wonder if we might get an answer in like the last second of like the finale and nothing will ever happen, and then we'll have to wait for like the like end game like finale closing movie if they do one. That would be crazy. I get the feeling that's what they're aiming for, maybe. You never know. But Taro has a party with all his friends show up, and it's a really nice scene. He gets a pillow with the Don Brothers symbol on it. He gets chopsticks for Oden, and he has this scene where he lies, where he says he appreciates everyone, or he says he appreciates everyone, but he lies it off, and he faints, and everyone's like all happy because he finally admits it. And Haruka looks at the camera and makes the joke saying, oh, is this the good ending? Because like Taro's dead from lying. And that's where the episode ends. Now, we do sort of meet the other Noto in this episode. I don't know their names, but I know they're like big Toku people. The female one is played by freaking Karenji Yellow, and I believe one of them is also from Kamen Rider. I believe Fies, I believe. If I'm wrong, I do apologize. I'm not like the best Toku knowledge when it comes to knowing all the actors here and there. But they show up, they sort of have this mysterious scene where they're sort of watching the fight. I get the feeling they're going to play a role, what they are, because you see them in the preview. I get the feeling they're going to play a bigger role in the end game for next week in the finale. But either way, they look really cool. I like their designs, and it's cool seeing them in this episode. I'm hoping they transform, but you never know. But anyway, guys, that was me rambling on about Don Brothers episode 49 for a couple of minutes. My review, my recap, my discussion, whatever you want to call it. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, take care, bye.